Alright, so we're going to go ahead and just open up InDesign, and I'm just looking at the document, the Project 1 ad spec sheet. So if you're wondering, just in case, where I'm getting the numbers, it's from this spec sheet right here. So I'm just going to set it up with these document numbers. What? The spec sheet? Yeah. Publication design and content.
All I see is lecture 1, week 1, and then is it demo?
Should be under week 1 Wednesday. Does everyone else see it?
Oh, okay, I got it.
Okay, I was just like, maybe I didn't. I didn't know there was a private mode, so I've done that with grades by accident. Everybody like guessed for a whole semester, but no one asked me. I was like, I'm right here. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, if you want to print it, I mean, I can print copies for you guys, but I just didn't. So these are the specs that we're going to use. So let's go ahead and go to InDesign. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do a Command N or a File New, whatever you're most comfortable with. And I'm going to just change my units to be inches. And then we're just going to set up the width to be 8.75. And tab it to be 10.375. You only need one page. And then we're going to go to the bottom where it says bleed. And then we're going to set it up to be 0.125 and hit tab all the way around. The height should be 10.375. So again, your inches, right? If you left it in picas, I can show you how to fix that. So you're going to have it be 8.75, 10.375, and then 0.125 for your bleed. And then when you're done with that, just hit create, and your document should look like these. I mean, if there's something wrong, it doesn't matter. You can always fix it. Like, for example, if you come up here, let's just close this out. If you're not in inches, if you control click inside the little area up here where your rulers are, you can always manually change it here. Like if I change it to points, I can just change it right back to inches, just like Photoshop and Illustrator. Or if anything's wrong in your document, like the size, we could always go back to File, Document Setup, and we can fix it manually again. So if any of your math is wrong and you work on this for like an hour, don't freak out. We could always fix it, no problem. Okay, everybody's with me so far? So I'm just going to do a file, save as. And for me, I'm just going to save it to my desktop with my last name. So if you're working on the Adobe CC 2019, you can save it just as it is. But if you're on an older, is anyone on an older version at home? Just going to hit save. And it'll look like this, like your little icon. Anyone's on like CS even 2018 or anything at home? Okay, well, just in case anyone is, when you go to save it and you do File, Save As, all you would have to do is save it as an IDML file instead. So instead of document, save it as an IDML file. What that means is if it's an older version, it's going to just open up as an older version file. And what it usually looks like when you open it, it just says untitled. So if you save this file here, open it at home, it'll say untitled file, and you would just have to resave it at home. It's just a way that InDesign lets you save backwards. Alright, so let me just throw a couple of things together. It's not going to be that majestic. Where's my cat photo? Cat photo. Creeper cat. And I'm just going to do like a text box. And I'm going to change it just to be a different font. This is, oh, marker felt, yes. Such Garfield. No, wait, it's got to be what, Cooper Black? Is that the font? We don't have it. That sucks. Cooper Black is the Garfield font. I'll use chalkboard. It's close enough. Okay, so we've saved this file, and I now have an image and text in the document. So let's just pretend you did your whole ad, it's magical, and you have all these files you need. So what we would do is we would just do a file package. And if you read what it says, it tells you in the document everything that you need to know. It says that you have one font that you're using. It says that I have one link found. So if you have any problems with fonts, it'll usually give you a little exclamation point, which I'll kind of have to show you that as a basis when it comes up, because it's a good kind of learning point. It can help you get around it. So what we're going to do is just do package. And when I click on the package, what it's going to do is it's going to make a folder just like Illustrator now does this, and I think Photoshop as well. Any assets that you have in the document, it makes a folder and it throws all the stuff that's in your document in there. So any images, any fonts, it'll put it all in a nice little folder for you. So I'm just going to name this Bennett Package Demo on my desktop. So what you want to do is make sure that the top 3 are checked. That's the default, but just in case. What it's going to do is it's going to copy your fonts. It's going to copy any of your linked graphics, and it's going to update any of those graphics. So for some reason you saved it and it hasn't shown up yet in InDesign. And then include a PDF for print, which is always nice. I'm going to show you how to manually overdo the PDFs. It's going to give you the high quality print unless you tell it you want smallest file size. So I'll re-walk you through this when we're submitting it the day of the final critique. It'll always give you this warning that's saying that you're copying fonts, and then it should be here. So now this nice little file here, if you did a job and you needed to pass it to someone else to finish it, so what's inside that package now is you can see the .indd file. So that's my InDesign file. It gave me the IDML file, which that's the legacy file. So if someone in like CS6 needs to open it, they can. It gives you the fonts that I used, and then it gives the links that I used. So it's really handy. I mean, I did production on this catalog last year, and I normally don't do production because it's super boring, but it was horrible. I mean, all the fonts were everywhere, all the images were everywhere, so they gave me a package and it was missing a bunch of stuff, and I basically had to go through all of these folders and try to relocate this horrible catalog. So, I mean, I did production on it, I shouldn't have, but it's a good lesson in client work. I was like, how bad could it be? I don't know why I do that. Alright, does anyone have any questions on packaging? Yes.
On the desktop, you have a lock file. What is that?
Oh, when you're working, I think with it actively open, it's like a temporary file that it's like a preview file. I don't know why it's there, but it's like that every time you have a file open that you're working on.
Okay.
I think if InDesign crashes, it's like a recovery file. Like if you're like 6,000 images and never save, it should still save your butt.